City Barbell in fucking South Bend, Indiana. And do you know who Garrett Fear is?
I think I know the name.
You probably do. He's like a loudmouth asshole. He's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like he talks a lot of shit, and I love Garrett. But he's a dick. He's very vocal, and he says everything he says is always valid, and he's completely honest. But it rubs a lot of people the wrong way because it's just completely 100% honest all the time. But like Garrett is super high energy, super like just pumped up all the time. And I was going for a bench, and he fucking slaps my back, and I turn around, and I fucking grab him by the throat, and I say, if you ever fucking do that to me again, I'll fucking kill you. And then, like, I realize I'm at a charity meet, like, raising money, and I'm like, ugh. Like, sorry, Garrett, and he's just like, ha, he like starts laughing at me, like, you're a fucking psycho. And I was like, God damn it, and I'm like, fuck, I walk off, and I'm like, fuck, I have to focus again. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I went and hit my bench because it was like my fucking second attempt, and it was just, I wasn't maxing out or anything, but I'm just like, God, don't fucking hit me, man. Like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I do not. That turns from me wanting the bench to kill the person.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, yeah.
It just pisses me off.
That's where we keep Ethan. Ethan stays pretty close to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally calm. Like, it's like that point for me, the squat is kind of when the knee wraps go on. And then the bench is like right before we start rapping. And like, and then when I'm done, like I can go done.
Yep.
Like, but I think I did that my whole life. Like when I played football, I got pretty pumped. And when I threw the shot put, I got pumped.
Yeah, that's the same way with me, dude. Like I think that being able to like control how hard your dial is cranked, like where you are on like the arousal curve or whatever. It's a skill to have because, like, there are a lot of people. I know you coach people, and I coach a lot of people too. I was just talking to one of the folks on like the private forum that I have because he was like, I was completely gassed by like deadlifts, and he's like, and I was like, well, dude, were you like up all day or what? And he's like, well, yeah, I was having a real hard time calming down, you know. And he's like, I kept listening to music. And I was just super amped for like the first part of the day, but then I just lost all my energy. And it's like, that's the issue. You have to be able to like turn it on when you want to turn it on, but you have to just as easily be able to flip it off.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm competing and I'm at a meet, I want to be like as up as I fucking need to be. Like I screamed at that kid and fucking hit my record, but immediately after that, I'm like fucking, all right, cool, I'm chill. You know, I'm going to go sit down, you know, and just like hang out and be like, all right, I need to lay down and just chill. Yeah,
you can't. And actually one of my training partners, he would just be wired the whole day. And it's like, dude, stop. Like sit the fuck down, man. Relax.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I tell people, a lot of the kids don't want to do meets till they get to a certain point. And it's like, no, like competing is an art form.
Yes.
Start practicing it now.
Yes, exactly.
Like who gives a shit what you really do on the platform, and if you feel like you're not strong enough or if you don't win, like start learning, start using your brain and figuring out how you compete. Because the same thing, some people can't get as pumped as me or you get. Like it just screws them up. And like I keep bringing up Eddie. Eddie's another one. Like I think Eddie has more rage in him than you see. But he's really controlled and really calm. And I don't, Eddie probably couldn't get all screamy and compete. Like that's just not him. But even that, I'm sure Ed's pretty chilled when he's, he has that switch too. It's just a little different. Like the intensity knob maybe is different.
Yeah, rather than like turning up the volume or something, it might be like turning up the heat on like a fucking laser or something. Whatever analogy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like he gets super focused. But you can't even be that focused. Like you have to go, okay, the lift's done.
Yeah, because then if you're that focused, you're not going to be able to think about anything else.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be too much all day. Because like you only have, we were talking about like overtraining and under recovering and whatever. Like whether it's recovering through like food, water, or whatever. Like there's also something to be said about rest and not just sleep, but also just like getting your body out of that like fight or flight mode and just chilling out. And it's honestly like it's after 8:00 now, and if this was a normal day, I don't know where it is. I'll actually go grab them. But like these are blue blocker lenses because they're like I have prescription lenses, but like they're all blue blocker. But I bought like the complete blocking lenses, and after 8 o'clock every night I throw them on just to basically like get out of the stress zone, you know. And it's like, it's not perfect, but it's just like you have to employ strategies to like minimize stress, because it's just going to help you recover and go into the next like like whether it's going from squat into bench into deadlift, or going day to day. You know, like just trying to minimize stress, because like stress, your body can't recognize, can't differentiate the different types of stress. Like if your life is imploding and you're like, I've been divorced, I've been injured, I've had this shit going on in my life. Like if your life is blowing up and you have all this bad stuff happening, it's going to be really, really hard to make some considerable, appreciable progress in the gym, because any stress that you accumulate in the gym is just going to turn around and kick your ass. You're not going to be able to recover from it because you have all this other stress in your life. Whether it's meet day, where like being able to like be amped up and then chill out and drop that stress down immediately, or day to day, like being up for your workout, up for your job, up for whatever. And then once we get into the evening time, ready to sleep, or when we're not needing to be up, there's value to being able to reduce that stress. Like
tons of
relax,
value.
You know, So, and that's a huge, like we were talking earlier about like the mental side of things. It takes practice, whether it's like meditation or fucking controlling your breathing, or just
laying down and belly breathing.
Yeah.
Like I would do that in between like the squat and the bench, and the bench and the deadlift. Just lay down, belly breathe, kind of get away from everybody. And just let my whole body just.
Yep. Exactly.
So, do you remember the first learn to train when we were squatting?
I do. But
There's a specific story about bracing that still sticks in my head.
I don't know.
Where you were like
shitting or something?
I go, are you gonna brace or what? And you're like, I am bracing, and I'm like, if you're bracing, how the fuck is your belt loose at the bottom?
Yeah, no, I remember now. Because you stuck your hand in the back of the belt, and I'm like,
how is this bracing?
Oh. And I was like, I don't know. And then I think I said something like, well, I don't know how to do that. And you're like, fucking push into my hand. And I'm like, that? And you're like, kinda. And I'm like, oh, okay. So.
But the funny thing is years later, like I'll show people your videos or tell people, go watch Joe squat. Because you're really good, and I know you ended up using the breathe belt to keep you in the habit, but you're really good at dropping your rib cage directly over your pelvic floor and like holding that position and getting lots of tension. And people are still trying to arch, and they'll still do all this shit where you get like compact and you just stay in that position.
Yeah,
it's funny to me that, because like I think we talked about like when I went to my first seminar with Dave. And on the 40 or 50 other guys that were there didn't learn shit. And like, so like I've coached so many people over the years, and some of them take away some stuff. Some of them I see it at the next year at a seminar, and I'm like, why am I going over the same stuff I went over last year? And like, you are one of those guys that I've really, it was fun to watch you keep coming up and keep doing better, because I could see where you were paying attention and you actually utilized it. And then it was fun too. And this is why I like coming down and visiting with you too, because I feel like you actually, you did some stuff with Elite, you did some stuff with Kabuki. Like you were always, as I watched you and followed your Instagram and stuff, you were always pushing for more knowledge. So it's like there's some aspects where I go, yeah, I may have taught him in the beginning, but I'm betting at this point there's some shit he can teach me.
And it might be, but it's the reason I have the fucking live, learn, pass on tattooed on me, and why I like resonate so hard with that part of the Elite FTS like fucking mission.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not affiliated with them anymore, it's still like just as valid as it ever was.
Yeah.
Like it's not about like what you're doing. It's not about like how many times you squatted over 1,000 pounds. It's not about how many all-time world records I hit. It's about that I can, like, you gave me that little piece of information, and then I continued to refine it and continued to chase more and more and more, and am wherever I am at now. And then it's like the fact that I did a seminar in Salt Lake City 2 weeks ago. Bree and I are going to schedule another one in Idaho, I think, or Iowa. I don't remember, but like somewhere where I'd have to figure out the dates because like we're doing a bunch of seminars and stuff. But and the fact that I coach so many people and like doing all that, and it's like it provides me with an opportunity to teach just like you had with me, and then I can do the same thing to other people, and then God knows how many other people they can take that to and give to.
Yeah, where can they advance to and learn and then pass on even more?
It's like it's the butterfly effect. It's like it's like a butterfly, like you time traveler travels back in time and a butterfly goes with him and then it flaps its wings and then like fucking the world changes. It's the same thing. It's just like you do one little thing and it might not, like by you teaching me how to do that, okay, this is a great analogy. By you teaching me how to do that, it might have only helped me brace a little bit better and helped me like develop that. But then now that I've taken that and I took the position with the breath belt, and we've been so successful in getting that onto people, not just power lifters, but just like my parents have one, Bree's dad has one. Like there are a bunch of people that use it that have used it effectively to get them out of back pain and like able to train better. Like it's because of my position with them and my continued development with them, but I might not have been in that position to do it had you not given me that piece of information back in 2011 or whenever the fuck it was, you know. And then you go further and it's like I've been doing that with however many people I've been doing it with, and who knows what that's going to cause to happen,
where that's going to lead
in 20 years, you know. And it's crazy, and I get fucking goosebumps talking about it because that's how you like change the world.
Yeah,
it's not these grandiose giant fucking things, but it's just like
it's
helping one person.
If I break the world record squat, everything's going to be different.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It doesn't change a goddamn thing.
Nope.
But what you learn in the journey and the people you meet on that journey and the people you can help after that journey or on that journey, like that's where the real change and the real fun and everything is.
Yep.
I'm saying it's not fun to break a world record.
Oh yeah.
It's not everything everybody thinks it is.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of other cool shit. I mean, even with me, like the numbers that I put up and the records that I broke aren't my biggest and best memory. Like the help I did with people dealing with depression and suicide and sleep problems, like that means way more to me. But breaking those records allowed me to be able to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like this all starts with strength, but it leads so many different places.
100%.
Which is just kind of baffling when you start thinking about it.
No, it is. Well, it's because I go further and I think like, why the fuck do people listen to me? You know,
I do that all the time.
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck? Well, no, because like some guy, completely unrelated, but somebody was like, I made a joke against, like, basically I shit talked a buddy's friend of mine, and I posted it to his story, or posted it on my story, and then he shared it, and he's like, imagine just getting roasted by Joe Sullivan out of nowhere, and I'm like, I'm just some dude, I'm just having fun, like, you guys are my friends, and he's like, no, you're just some dude, but like, you're Joe Sullivan, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, okay? But it's like, it's not imposter syndrome, but it kind of is, because it's like, you've accomplished a lot of stuff, I've accomplished a lot of stuff, and people respect it, and it makes them listen to us, but it's also like we talked about at the very beginning, I'm just some dude, and it's just like, I think the stuff I do is pretty cool, but we're all people, and anybody listening to this podcast can do even better than I can. There's no fucking reason, because there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
There's so much fucking opportunity for people. And if you want something and you work hard for it and you do it intelligently, you have no fucking idea where you could end up.
Yeah. Oh, look at it. You coach the guys. You're coaching guys. If you find a guy that can beat you, you're going to coach him to beat you.
Oh, yeah. Like we were talking
and I'm the same way. People go, you would coach someone to take your record? I go, fuck yeah, I would. Because somebody needs to take it, and I'd rather have it be the person I coach anyway.
No shit.
Like, and I'm the poster boy for like, dude, he don't sleep. He's got depression. Yeah. Like, dude, if I can do it, dude, anybody. Like, you just got to dedicate yourself. And call me. I'll coach you. Like,
yeah, exactly. You know? And like we were talking about it earlier. Like I brought up Chad Penson to you because like I'm coaching him now, and he's a freak. There's no goddamn reason that he shouldn't out total me at a weight class below me at this next meet, and he's planning to go 220 eventually. Yeah, and I'm fucking excited and terrified for the day that when he does, because my record is 822 pounds right now. It's like 822.9 or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker, once he starts, because he's walking around at like 210 and competing at 198, he puts 20 pounds on, walks around at 230, and then cuts to 220. Fuck if I know what he's going to squat or bench or deadlift. So, I don't know. But it'd be cool to coach him and annihilate my records. But goddamn, he's fucking going to. You know?
But I think that's part of loving, like truly loving the sport. Because if the sport, if records aren't broken and things don't advance, the sport dies.
Exactly.
You know, and if you love the sport and you love everything that's, I mean, I feel like I've learned so much about myself and life, and I'm continuing to learn through strength about everything else in my life. Like, I got a bunch from it. I want the sport to keep going. I want people to keep into it, people to keep seeing it and being in it.
Yeah, 100%. And same here. And I know there's a huge age gap between you and I, but it's still the same deal, you know? Because like
that's because I'm old.
Yeah, right. But it's like I make the joke because I've been competing in powerlifting for like 13 or 14 years, and it's like I'm like 85 in powerlifter years.
Yeah,
it's like dog years, but like different.
Kind of when we talk, it's so hard on your body. Like it's almost like there's a time frame that you have to do it. And I mean, even when you train smart, it's still so much stress in your body.
Well, you can only like we were talking earlier. You can only hold on to your peak strength for so long.
Yeah,
like it's a finite amount of time. You're running towards the end zone, and the harder you run for it, the quicker you're going to get there.
Yeah.
You know, but ultimately you're going to get there at some point. So, I don't know.
All right, we've been yapping for at least an hour, I think now.
I think we're at.
I do want to say follow Joe on Instagram, which is just Joe Sullivan.
It's Joe Sullivan _AOD for Adapt or Die, the coaching thing.
And then actually look up his Adapt or Die. And if you're looking for online coaching, Joe's got a great system set up. And you're also doing the Breathe Belt, Living Large.
I've got a bunch of sponsors. They're all in my fucking Instagram bio. Like
the bio, and I think you have the link tree too, right?
Yeah, I have the link tree. So anything you want to find, like go support my people. Support Chad too. But like obviously it's his fucking podcast. But like I got all my links in there. It's like Live Large, Amino Asylum, SBD, Breath Belt, fucking whatever the fuck else, Leviathan. If I'm forgetting one, I'm sorry. 110% nutrition, my own coaching. I don't know. Go check my bio out. Biggest thing with me, like I'm super engaged because like this is my full-time gig. So like if you guys ever have a question for me or anything, shoot me a DM. Like I'll get back to. Obviously I prioritize my clients, but like I get back to everybody at some point. So I'm always available to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't recommend everybody, but like I definitely would recommend people to come see Joe and train with Joe.
Yeah. And if you ever want to take a trip to Vegas, I do in-person coaching here too. We're just talking about it.
Which is actually a big thing because we both kind of I'm getting more into online training, but you've done it for a while and you can do it, but it's just so difficult. There's certain things that are hard to explain where you could come in and spend. Like if you're in Vegas, you could spend one or two sessions with Joe and he can actually fix and tweak and put you in positions that it's hard to feel and explain. Like that is such a huge thing. I tell people all the time, seminars, individual coaching, like, I mean, it's well worth if you just came and spent an hour or two with him in person so he can actually see and tweak everything in live. It's huge. That's so huge.
And that's like what we were talking about earlier because I know you've had the same thing. Happen as well as I have. Like you have somebody that you're working with and you're giving them advice and you're giving them feedback and they're getting it, but like it's not quite there. And then you actually train with them in person, whether it's for a session or just because you're fucking in the same town and you're like, yeah, let's get a lift in or whatever. And then you're like, wait a minute. And you just like, you're like with Bree today, you were like, twist your elbows a little bit more, like twist the bar harder. And it went from her being like locked in right here and like externally rotated and locked down with the shoulders to just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That gave her
just
a little
bit tighter.
Extension. Yeah. And it's like those little tweaks are the things that add up over time.
Yeah.
So, and you can only get it when you're literally like fucking seeing it. And you're like, wait a minute, like and fucking poke them or something.
Right.
You know. So yeah.
That's a big thing too. I have a couple, especially with lats at the bench press.
Yeah. Always.
I have a couple guys where I just go. I don't even say
like
anything anymore. I just poke them.
like, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, that's another good story. I went up to, and this is a good story for, like, I don't care how good you get, you can develop bad habits.
Oh yeah.
Like, I consider myself a really good technician. I was up at Kabuki with Chris, and he's watching me bench, and he's like, dude, you got to get your lats tighter. I'm like, you're my Chad fucking Ikes, motherfucker. Dude, my lats are fucking tight. Yeah. And so I get down to bench, and all of a sudden he straddles me and just goes, gah! And I go, gah! Okay, oh yeah, you're right.
Yep.
There is more.
And that's definitely go-to thing. Like, there's always more. You can always do a little bit more, always squeeze a little bit harder, push a little bit fucking harder. Yeah, he's done the same goddamn thing.
I love crazy people though.
Yes, same.
All right, I appreciate you. This was, I don't know how much educational shit we got, but it was funner than crap telling stories and shit. Man. And hopefully I'll be able to come down here more and maybe we can do some more shit.
Absolutely.
It's fun. I think we could probably talk for 25 fucking hours.
Probably. That's
straight
kind
through.
Of the thing, yeah, but thank you for having me.
All right, so we're signing off, guys.